As a multi-party democracy, over the years, Germany has had multiple parties elected to the Bundestag, as well as the 16 state parliaments across the country. This has led there to be several coalitions between the different political parties in each state, with each of the coalitions being given unique names based on the combination of colors from the different party logos. Therefore, I thought it'd be interesting to look at the coalitions in the local German states and offer new names to these alliances based on a fruit or a vegetable, with the colors of the different parties determining which fruit or vegetable it should be. And in order to demonstrate this, let's start with the Grand Coalitions in Berlin, Hesse, and Saxony. In these states, there's an alliance between the CDU and the SPD, with the conservative CDU, or Christian Democratic Union, having been founded after the end of World War II in the new West Germany, where it soon grew to be one of the most important parties of the German center-right, while the SPD, or Social Democratic Party, was first founded in the late 1800s, and soon grew to be the most important party of the German center-left. And since these parties are most often represented by the colors black and red, this alliance will be the Blackberry Coalition. Now, Bavaria is rather unique, as the conservative Christian Social Union has been in power for several decades, with the CSU being a local party that emphasizes the importance of Bavarian culture and traditions, and their coalition partners are the Free Voters, who are a more independent conservative group, largely found in the south of Germany, with the Free Voters presenting themselves as a grassroots alternative to the larger and more well-established parties. Now, since the local CSU closely identifies with the color blue, which is taken from the coat of arms of the Bavarian Royal House of Wittelsbach, and the Free Voters also use blue in their party logos, this can be the Blueberry Coalition. Now, Saarland is a bit of an outlier, as it is currently the only state in Germany that is ruled by just one political party, the Social Democrats. And since they are a left-wing Labour party that uses the color red, Saarland can be represented by a tomato, with this also referencing the fact that during the Nazi era, people would often smuggle in banned left-wing and socialist books disguised as packets of tomato seeds. In Hamburg and Lower Saxony, there's a red-green alliance between the SPD and the Greens, with the Green Party having first emerged in the 1980s out of series of environmentalist, anti-war, and anti-nuclear protest movements. Therefore, this can be the Watermelon Coalition, since a watermelon is green on the outside and red on the inside. Now, the Greens are also part of coalitions in Schleswig-Holstein, Baden-Württemberg, and North Rhineland-Westphalia. However, here they are aligned with the conservative CDU, with this black-green alliance between these parties creating the Avocado Coalition. However, in Baden-Württemberg, the Greens are actually the largest party. Therefore, in order to reflect this difference, I thought it would be interesting for this to be the Kiwi Coalition. Now, the states of Rhineland-Palatinate and Saxony-Anhalt have alliances which include the Free Democratic Party, or FDP, with the FDP emphasizing the importance of protecting personal rights and freedoms, as well as being very business-friendly and pro-capitalist, with the Free Democrats working with the SPD and the Greens in Rhineland-Palatinate, and with the SPD and CDU in Saxony-Anhalt. Therefore, the Red-Green-Yellow Alliance formed the Mango Coalition, while the Red-Black-Yellow Alliance in Saxony-Anhalt forms the Blood-Orange Coalition. Now, the far-left Die Linke party is only part of ruling coalitions in two states, with Die Linke having formed out of the Socialist Unity Party that had once ruled East Germany as an authoritarian one-party state. As a result, the party is also very popular with many Germans in the east of the country, who are nostalgic for an idealized communist past, with Die Linke forming an alliance with the SPD and the Greens in Bremen, and with just the SPD in Mecklenburg-West Pomerania, with the Red-Green-Red Alliance in Bremen being the Dragon Fruit Coalition, and the Red-Red Alliance with the SPD, being the Raspberry Coalition. Now, there would have been more states that included alliances with Die Linke. However, the party recently underwent a split when one of their most prominent leaders, Sarah Wagenknecht, formed a new party, known as the Sarah Wagenknecht Alliance, or BSW, with the BSW being seen as a left-wing authoritarian party, due to their support of a strong welfare state, defense of dictators like Vladimir Putin, as well as their hostility to immigration. With the BSW establishing an alliance with SPD in Brandenburg, with this Red-Purple Alliance forming the Plum Coalition. This then leaves the state of Thuringia. Now, the alliance of Thuringia is rather odd, as it includes the conservative CDU, the left-wing Social Democrats, and the newly formed BSW. And the reason for this coalition is because there's a general agreement against working with the Alternative for Germany, or AFD. With the AFD being a right-wing authoritarian party that, like the BSW, opposes immigration and are supportive of dictators, with the party only growing more extreme over time. Therefore, when the AFD became the largest party in the state, These three smaller parties decided to work together in order to form a majority and prevent the AfD from ruling, with this black, red, purple alliance forming the Beetroot Coalition. Now, let me know what you think of my representation of these party alliances, and feel free to name some other fruits or vegetables that might have worked in this video. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. If you'd like to have early access and give feedback on this type of content, please consider joining the Patreon. And as always, thanks so much to my patrons, Ontroid, NMS, and DC. Thank you so much for the support you have given me so far.